All right, we're live.
Hey,
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Awesome. Where are you located right now?
New Jersey.
Oh, you're still in Jersey. Nice.
Yeah, beautiful Jersey. I'll be in Mexico, gosh, in about 4 weeks.
Oh, you're go. What part of Mexico are you going to?
Cancun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna give you some advice, and also make sure you go down to Playa del Carmen.
Oh, I did. I really wasn't a fan.
Okay, so you like Cancun more than Playa del Carmen?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, hey, you know what? Then if you've been to both, then go. What about Tulum? You've been there?
I haven't. That I haven't been to.
It's expensive though. Tulum is crazy expensive. I'll
Is
tell you that
it?
much.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have to visit because I hear good things about it, like good vibes.
Absolutely. But you shouldn't worry because you are a wealth manager, financial advisor,
Right. That's right.
motivational speaker, you're an author,
Yes.
you're all of these things. And I got your links we'll pull up. So why don't you start by doing a quick introduction about yourself and I'll post some links into the background.
Well, hi everybody. I'm Joyce Rojas. I am a motivational speaker, author of 31 Badass Money Mindset Affirmations, and also a financial advisor. I have my own investment firm. So I'm here to speak about the market. Of course, I'm sure you've seen what's been going on in the market recently. So here I am. This is exciting stuff.
Yeah, the market's been a freaking bloodbath today. Um, pretty brutal day. I mean, what was your reaction when you saw everything kind of crashing in the red?
I was excited. I really was. I've been waiting for this because and it's just there's a lot going on, right? And we can't expect the market to continue to move up, 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 up and never correct. That is unrealistic.
Mm,
And so I knew this was coming along. And so today was an exciting day for me.
that's right.
What do
You
you
know,
think?
I think that I've read a fact that whenever the market crashes, that's when the most millionaires are made
Absolutely.
in the coming rebounds. And so I've always, I've been invested in the market now for over 10 years, and I'm kind of numb to crashes. Like I know a lot of people when they're new, seeing their money go down, it hurts.
Yes.
But you got to realize that this is just the natural volatility of the way this stuff works. And as long as you don't panic sell, in my opinion, I think that that's great. A lot of people panic sell.
That's
What
the worst thing you can do.
exactly? What is your advice for somebody who made an investment and then saw
Mhm.
their money go down and is just feeling that panic? What do you recommend for someone in that mental state?
They need, like I tell all my clients, right? You need to understand that whenever you invest, you are investing for the long term. People make this mistake thinking that they're going to be day trading. You don't day trade unless you know what the hell you're doing. Don't attempt to day trade. When you invest, you need to make sure that you're going to be able to leave that money to the side for at least 3 years. Okay, so
Right.
just make sure, like make believe it's not even there for at least 3 years. I also tell them investing is like a relationship. It's like a marriage. So when you get into it, you're thinking it's going to be great, right? But then shit happens. And you get into this huge argument or you find something out that you're just like, what the hell? But just because you get into this huge argument doesn't mean that the answer is divorce right off the bat, right? You stick it through. And so investing is very similar to that. We have
Mm,
to understand that there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. It's just part of the game.
right. That's a really good analogy, actually. Yeah, you can't always expect it to go up, but when it does do that, it's really fun. It's really
It's
fun when it goes.
wonderful. It's
Yeah,
wonderful when it goes up, but it's also really fun when it goes down. If you
right,
know what the hell you're doing,
right. I
And
got a
so
question here on the screen from one of my viewers, Mr. Wright. He says, "Is it better to dollar cost into a position or to keep powder dry for a crash like this?"
powder dry. I'm a powder dry person. I actually do both. I like being able to, like, when I have a client and I understand what their goal is, right? That's number one. Whoever you work with, whether you work on your own and you're doing your own financial planning or you work with an advisor, they need to really understand what's important to you. If they're not understanding what's important to you, then they're not the person that's going to help you. So what I like to do is I like to see, okay, what's happening? Do you want to build a little nest egg? So if we're going to do that, then I do automatic. So automatic investing. So we'll choose a fund, and I like index funds because you don't have to get creative to be wealthy. I promise you that.
Right.
So you auto invest into that, but I also have them saving on the side. And so then that little savings account that they have on the side can be used to put into the market in times like this. So that's what I like to do.
That's good. Yeah. So I think a mix of both is the solution. I
I
personally, I don't make a lot of income these days because I've decided to do the life of a YouTuber. And as you know, we're pretty freaking broke. However, luckily for me, I did make a lot of money when I was younger. I have all that money invested and saved up. Obviously, lost a lot in the markets the last couple of days, but it's all paper losses, so I don't really care too much.
Right.
But I will say that if I did have income right now where I was able to make investments, I would totally buy this crash right now.
Absolutely.
I would 100% come in and be putting money in. Somebody asked, do you think the market will keep crashing even after the Fed meets Wednesday, or was this an overreaction?
I don't think it was an overreaction. I think it was a necessary action, right? So you got to remember what happened. All right. We had a freaking pandemic. Like that doesn't happen. That only happens what, once every 100 years. The last pandemic was 100 years ago. So we had a pandemic. Market was down about 35%. Okay. Everyone's freaking out. But everyone's freaking out because there's a couple things going on. My money's going down. Fucking people are dying. Like that's crazy, right? And then the mindset, your mindset was completely affected because we had the government or the powers that be say, stay home, don't see your loved ones, don't go to the gym, don't go out. Everything was taken away from us. So your mind now is beginning to kind of like freak out, right? So I saw that. And I realized, holy shit, there's three things being affected right now. There is money, mindset, and then there's the health, the possibility that you could die, right? So that just happened. Market went down. And then we saw completely just like power right through. So the market went even higher than what it was before the pandemic. And so some of the names that were going high during the pandemic were tech stocks, were tech names. They were pretty much called pandemic plays. All right. Pandemic plays was like your Peloton, right? Everybody freaking bought a Peloton during the pandemic. And so then the stock went up. DocuSign was another one. Tesla, all of these, Amazon, right? All of these stocks went up. Netflix, all of these went up because of that, because people were like, oh, there's more money. They're going to make more money during this time. But at some point, when we got back to reality and people are starting to go back into the real world, these stocks came down, and that started happening weeks ago already. So I think that this was definitely a necessary part to play, like this role play in the market. But I also think that you could probably see a little bit more from here. You could see it go down a little bit more from here. Some analysts are saying it could go down up to 40%. That's a little crazy, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But others are just saying, hey, we're probably just seeing a 10-15% correction. And I would not be surprised if we see a 15 to 20% correction.
Yeah, I was watching Tim Pool earlier. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, and he was saying that there were a lot of pandemic plays like pharma and technology, and a lot of those were being inflated because of the pandemic. And now that we're seeing some countries dropping the mandates, for example, England, Ireland, they said no more mask mandates, no more vaccine passports. Now those stocks that were inflated during the pandemic are now being sold off because there's less importance on a Peloton when you can go to the gym again, when you can actually go to the store and shop again, and you don't need to go to Amazon or depend on these type of companies. So, they whoever is selling off, I feel like they know something's coming. And this, in my opinion, the silver lining here is not only is it a buying opportunity, but secondly, this could be a symbol that that COVID is going to be behind us soon, because whoever's selling off must know that it's coming to an end.
Yeah, I believe in that. I do believe that it's coming to an end. So I'm looking forward to that. But yes, silver lining, pandemic's coming to an end. Another silver lining is we're going to get normal now, hopefully, with the Fed, right? You got to remember what happened during that time. The Fed took a bunch of money that we don't have. So they printed money and they put it into the economy, right? So they started giving people money and then for them to use it. So that was to spark up the economy. Well, now we're in freaking debt. And one of the biggest rules that there is that I talk to my clients about, and I go on my YouTube videos and say, hey, I don't like debt. Some debt is good debt, right? But I don't like debt. And so I'm trying to teach this to people. Meanwhile, our government is in debt. Like, come on. So that I think is a good thing that now the Fed's starting to taper. They're starting to say, okay, we're taking this money back. And then inflation is part of what's happening with that. So, hey, whatever we need to do to get back to at least somewhat normal.
Someone here asks, Mr. Right again, what is your opinion of the crypto markets and should altcoins be part of your accumulation strategy? Obviously, crypto is going to be the hottest topic right now because this is where a lot of people have made a lot of money over the last 10 years. First of all, before we get into this question, what is your opinion on crypto as a currency or as an asset or as an investment?
Okay. I like crypto. I do. I just don't trust it. Do you know how you like a guy, but you just don't effing trust him? It's exactly what I'm feeling with crypto right now. It's like, okay, I like it. I just don't trust it. And I didn't trust it when it was at 50,000. And I didn't trust it when it was at 60,000. And I knew that thing was going to be coming down. Why? Because you have to understand how to see when a fad is happening. Okay. AMC, fad. Okay. GameStop, fad. These tech stocks that were running up that you're not understanding, whoa, how the hell did that price go up that fast? Fad. All right. Crypto, fad. So all of this, you have to understand. When you don't understand why this is going up, then that should be a red flag for you. And so crypto was going up way too fast. Now it's down to 35. I think it was today, 33 it went down to.
Damn, I didn't know it that low. Now it's at 37,000.
Yeah.
It's climbing back a little bit.
33 sometime today. And and so then I like it here. I didn't like it at 50. I didn't like it at 60. And one other thing, right? I just want to give you a little tip of the market. Like, we in the market advisors, right? We believe that when people start talking, like when I go to my mechanic or I go to Walmart and then I'm listening to the conversations and people are saying, hey, buy this stock, buy that stock, that to me is a red flag. It's like, shit, okay, the market is probably going to come down. When people that really don't know what the hell they're doing are trading, that is automatically like, all right, maybe the market's a little bit frothy right now.
Right. Yeah. When it goes to mainstream, it's almost like it's a sign of like social greed.
Yes.
And at some point, it has to snap back down to reality. I found this tweet on. Let me see if I could share this. Yeah, I found this tweet. This is on Reddit right now. It looks like May 17, 2011. This guy, Greg Schoen, who probably will now live in infamy. He had purchased 1,700 Bitcoins at 6 cents. And instead of selling them at 30, and then he sold them at 30 cents and was pissed that he didn't hold until it was $8. Can you imagine what he's going through today?
I know. It's been such a crazy ride with crypto. And I'm telling you, I like it because I do think that it has potential, especially because places are beginning to take it as currency now. And I do think that the whole point is to get rid of real money. So I do like it. I just don't like it at crazy prices like 60 grand.
So I wanted to show you how much he'd be worth today. If he held on to his actual crypto, he would be worth this much today, 62.9 million.
No.
So I wonder what this poor guy, Greg Schoen, is feeling today. That must suck. So I want to go down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole for a second with you about crypto, because I think this is really interesting stuff to think about. Some people say that our global governments are trying to move towards digital decentralized currencies, right? because if you think about it, there was a whole thing like, Bitcoin and crypto is anonymous. It's untraceable. The reality is that's not true at all. A lot of crypto is traceable. Once they can find out who owns what wallet, it's very easy to track everywhere it's been. Whereas cash is probably the most untraceable. As long as there's not a surveillance camera in the store that you're at, your cash is basically untraceable, right? Um, so a lot of people think that, and I've seen this online, that crypto could be like a false flag operation by the government to kind of release and test out to see how we use it to understand social behavior with crypto. So that way, once they have 10, 20 years of data, they can then release the final crypto, which takes into account how we ended up all using it. Do you think that there's any merit to that? Is that a possibility, or is that conspiracy theory rabbit hole nonsense?
I think anything's a possibility.
Right?
If you heard my conspiracy theories on COVID, I think anything's a possibility at this point, So yeah, possibly.
Yeah, it's possible, right? I mean,
Mhm.
who the hell knows? I guess hopefully by the time our lives are over, we'll find out. Now, do you know anything about the real estate market? Is that something that you kind of tap into at all?
Yeah. But let me go back to that crypto question because that would actually make it scary, right? If that's true, then that means that whatever's being run up right now is all hype and they're going to have to get rid of that shit and
Hmm.
then the real one's going to come. So you're basically, if you don't get out in time, you'll have nothing, right? If that conspiracy theory is
Right.
correct.
Yeah, because it's the greater fool theory that as long as someone buys after you for a higher price, then you'll always be okay. But at one time, it's eventually the rug gets pulled and everybody loses everything and gets wiped out. I hope that that's not true. I,
Hmm.
I I do think that crypto has now been around for 11 years, basically, right? And I feel like at this point, it's kind of a self-sustaining thing in terms of it's out there, it's mainstream. People trust the technology, they believe in the technology. There's all these coins being developed with all these different uses, like Ethereum. Eventually, they think Ethereum is going to take over for Bitcoin. I don't know at this point if that's reality anymore, but who the hell knows? It's all scary shit.
Hmm.
Um, is
Very
there
true.
any?
But one thing, an alternate, is that what you're going to ask?
Well, I was going to say, are there any altcoins that you personally like are into that you follow? Because I love VeChain. I don't know if you know about VeChain, but are there any coins that are on your radar that are like the alt ones?
No, I don't because Dogecoin, right? That really
Yeah,
turned me off. So
Dogecoin. Yeah,
that really turned me off. And so I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like people really put money into something that started off as a joke?
yep,
I mean, shit. Do people really have this amount of money to just kind of just throw wherever they want? Because actually statistics show that 70% of people live paycheck to paycheck.
right.
So how you have money to burn like that, I don't know. But an alternate, if people are looking at, oh, you know what, I want to do crypto, but I'm a little bit afraid, or crypto is way too expensive, because one Ethereum is 2,000 something as of today, right?
Right.
And one alternative is looking at what stocks or what companies you can buy the stock of that are in that market. So, for
Hmm.
example, Coinbase, right? So you go there to purchase. So why
Hmm.
not look into the stock of Coinbase instead of buying the
Right.
actual crypto?
Yep. The only issue I have with Coinbase as a stock, by the way, what a recovery today. Uh, Coinbase
Yep.
basically closed even today.
Yeah.
Um, but the only issue I have with Coinbase as a stock is that it's so correlated to Bitcoin. And
Hmm.
basically, all of crypto is correlated to Bitcoin. To me, that is a big problem because basically Bitcoin becomes the anchor for the entire industry right now. And I think when it comes to the Coinbase stock, people have to understand whether or not Coinbase is going up or down. Coinbase makes their money on the transaction fees. Coinbase is always making money whether you're buying or selling in a crash.
Hmm.
So at some point, I feel like Coinbase and Bitcoin have to diverge, and Coinbase is going to have to start operating on its own. But right now, that's the only frustrating thing is that it's always correlated. Bitcoin goes down, Coinbase goes down. Bitcoin goes
Well,
up, Coinbase goes up.
you're right. You're right because and it's correlated because remember it's almost you got to kind of look at it as a sector almost, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So right now Ethereum, Bitcoin, Coinbase, they're all kind of like its own little sector at this point. So it's going to
Right.
take a while for that to be,
Right.
uncorrelated.
because crypto, if you think about it, is still in its infancy, right? If crypto is going to be around for, let's say, the rest of our lifetime, we're only in year 11 or 12. So it's still very early in the lifetime of these crypto coins. People have to realize.
Well, infancy was when the guy bought it at 8 cents.
I mean, that was, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to make myself feel better about that I didn't buy back then. One of my viewers, Bob K. MIT, says, I've been putting $50 a month into a local bank stock for 25 years. Not sure if that was a good move or not. I don't know what local bank you putting your money in. I mean, to me, honestly, I think investing is a good thing. I think that you've been doing it for 25 years is a good thing. It's almost like you've done dollar cost averaging without realizing it. The question is, though, what I'd want to know is how much did you put in total? I guess we could do the math right now. So if he did $50 a month, let's pretend that he's been consistent. $50 a month, $600 a year. So he's invested $15,000 total so far. That's his principal.
Okay.
So the question for you, Bob, is you put in 15 grand over 25 years. What do you now? Then we'll know if you did a good job or not, right?
Yes, exactly. You know,
That's
did this local bank stock go up? Or, you know, what was the percentage of it?
No.
I don't think that, look, there's always going to be the Apples of the world, okay, or the Netflixes, where you started at, you know, putting money in at $20 and now it's like whatever it is, right? There's always going to be those unicorn stocks, but not all stocks are like that. And so if you're going to be investing anything, if this is all you're investing, don't get creative. I like index funds. I like ETFs. You can do an index fund that follows the S&P 500, like SPY, or VOO. You know, that's it's vanilla, but it's made money over.
That's right.
You know, hell, I'll take it if it was making money. Same thing you can do if you like, oh, I like the bank sector, right? Then look for a bank ETF. There's, I think it's KBE, I think is a small, more for local banks. So you buy the index fund of the bank. So in that way, if that bank goes under, especially back in 2008 when they had the financial crisis, if that bank would have gone under, you would have been screwed.
Right. Exactly.
So might as well just go towards an index fund.
So I checked the price of the Townhouse stock. The bank that he had was Townhouse Bank. And this might be it. I'm looking at the stock ticker. It says today it's $33 a share, basically. And it looks like it debuted in 1999 at $6.60 a share. So,
okay, so he did good.
Yeah. So a portion of his investment looks like it's been multiplied by 6-7 times.
Okay.
So I think overall that's okay. However, you know, if you want to look at crazier stocks like Tesla, you would have multiplied your money by 10 times in a year. So,
right,
you know,
right.
It's hit or miss. But hey, honestly, I think investing money is always going to be a good thing. Apocalypse Survivor here says invest in the people that are following Pelosi's and other politicians' investments. Right. Nancy Pelosi is a winning investor. She makes a lot of money in the markets. So I think that following Pelosi could always be a good option. Yeah, of course. We love answering your questions. What else was I going to ask? Okay, we had a question up here about
you had a question on real estate.
Yeah, the question on real estate. Hold on, where is this? Yeah, okay. Will commercial real estate sector be hurt by more work from home movement? Where would commercial growth come from?
Be hurt? Yes. So commercial real estate has been hurt already for a while, even pre-pandemic. So we started seeing, I'm in the tri-state area, right? So New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, tri-state area. And we started actually seeing a move of this move of decreasing commercial real estate. For example, doctors, right? Doctors that had their own practice began moving to the hospitals instead because it was actually more expensive to have your own practice than to just go to the hospital. Why? Because the whole insurance company thing and the way that that's dealt with, right? So we started seeing a move of people closing down shop and then moving towards a bigger building, or, you know, kind of just consolidating. So we started seeing this a while back. And so now, because of the pandemic, yeah, we will see this. We will continue to see this commercial real estate market decrease. Obviously, we're going to have retail stores, but what's actually been going up a lot, and this has been already for the last probably 5 years, is more of places where you could put like Amazon, like I forget what they're called, like manufacturing areas. So that's really what's been going up.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that the pandemic is part of the Great Reset, that our elites are telling us to our faces that it's all about a Great Reset. I mean, the World Economic Forum, they just straight up are just like, the Great Reset, the elites. So this isn't a conspiracy theory. They're telling us directly. And so I do think that now that a lot of us have shifted work from home. Now, you personally, I'm looking at your Instagram profile, which if you guys aren't following her, go on Instagram and search the Joyce Rojas. You'll find her there. Let me pronounce that correctly. The Joyce Rojas. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
You're described as a Latina financial advisor traveling the world. So,
Yeah.
so you personally, I mean, it sounds like you work remotely now, in general, but also, do you think the pandemic had an impact on the way you work?
Yeah, for sure. I think it had an impact on everybody. It made clients it made them become aware that it's possible. They were so accustomed to seeing face to face, right? And then the pandemic forced us to see clients this way, and then clients got used to it. And so then
Right.
now people are like, why would I want to drive to you? Let's just see
Right.
each other on Zoom. And it makes it so much easier. So it did make it so much easier.
Now, for you, are you dealing with most of your clients through FaceTimes and Zooms because of the pandemic?
Most of them, and not even only because of the pandemic anymore. It's because they just don't want to.
Right.
They
It
don't want
saves
to
time.
drive anymore.
Right. It saves so much time, right? Just being able
Yeah.
to stop on and,
Yeah. And
I'm
people
in
have
pajamas right
moved.
now. Look, I'm doing a live stream in pajamas. You
Me
probably didn't even
too.
know. You
I'm in
probably didn't know.
sweats. I'm in sweats too. But like, and also people have moved out of the area, So like the tri-state area, you used to be in the tri-state area, Adam. So like
Yep.
they've moved out because it's like, all right, the taxes are high, it's cold.
Yeah,
So now
exactly.
they they go away and I could still help them, which is a nice thing.
Oh, that's awesome. This is Cloud, by the way.
Hey, he's so
What
cute.
what year did we meet? Do you remember what year we met?
It was pre-pandemic, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
must have. It was
definitely
Jersey City.
pre-pandemic.
So, for those of you guys watching, I was living in Jersey City Heights for a while, for about a month, I think, and it's kind of above Hoboken.
Yes.
And you were working on your laptop at some cafe. I forgot the name of the cafe.
Grio.
Cafe Grio. That place is dope.
Yeah.
That place is dope. And I just saw you, and then we started talking because you were doing the digital nomad thing.
Mhm.
What were you working on at the time? Were you working on the stuff you're doing now?
I actually think I was working on the book.
You're
I
working on the
may
book.
have been working on the book. Yes.
That's crazy.
Where is it? Here. See?
That's
Finally.
amazing. Wow.
I gave birth
I
to the
met
book.
you when you were literally in the lab doing your thing in the Grio Cafe.
That's right. Yep. That's what I would do. My Saturdays, my Sundays would be taken up by working on my passion.
Wow, that's awesome. So that's how we met, guys. We met just randomly by fate in New Jersey, and I've been wanting to have her come and chat on our channel for a while now because she's doing some really big things. Motivational speaker, the author of this book. I'm curious though, what was the process in you getting this book published? Like, how did you do that?
Well, it's self-published. So then I had someone coaching me through how the heck to do that because I had no idea how to do it. And I also had someone else do I had a designer design the cover because I would have never been able to come up with something like that. And so it's a lot easier than you think. I think that like people get kind of stuck at how the hell I'm going to do it, but one step at a time and you get it done.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to buy this book today to support you.
Thank you.
And, put a sale on Amazon. I'm not going to do it now because if I do it now, it's going to pull up my address on the screen in public. And, given that my political leanings these days, I can't have my address out there on the internet.
That's right. You don't want anything burning on your lawn.
Yeah, I don't need them coming after me. This isn't even my house. This is like my friend's house, so I can't put them at risk and expose that. So, but after this, I promise you right now, guys, I'm going to buy her book. It is now it's $14.99 paperback on Amazon, and as you can see here, she's a 5-star rated book with 20 global ratings. Looks like you got great reviews for your book.
Yes, yes. You know, it's so funny because it's like, I don't know what you believe about energy or any of that, but I really feel like when I read that book, I'm like, holy shit, that was me. It almost felt like it was a muse. Like it was kind of like, all right, the higher spirit just, giving me information to put out there. And that book really is to kind of rewire your thinking around money, because sometimes people have these fears that began when they were kids. So especially I'm a Latina, so the Latino community didn't really teach you much about investing. My parents were immigrants, and so when they came, they were really happy to be able to just have a job, make sure that their kids are protected and had education. That's pretty much it. So I never learned about investing from my parents. And so we have these fears around money, and we have these thoughts about ourselves when it comes to money that hold us back from really building wealth in the future, because it's subconscious. It's a subconscious script that you're not getting around.
Yeah, I'll always remember. I was adopted at birth, so I grew up in a white family, a white American family. Jewish mom and a Jewish Italian mom and a Catholic white dad. But they've always in my life enforced investing and saving for a rainy day. So that was I didn't have that Latino upbringing of not investing. I was always told to invest, and I'll always remember my first investment was in Facebook when it IPO'd,
Wow.
and I had X amount of dollars, but I was so scared to go big that I only put like 10% of what I should have. Uh,
Yeah.
and I ended up making 500 or 600% gains on that investment when I sold. And I look back, and if only I had put in what I could have, obviously
Right.
it was my first investment, so I did not know anything. And the crazy part is when I first bought Facebook at $41 a share, it actually dropped down to $17 a share.
Yeah.
And I kind of just left it alone because I was like, at this point, whatever. So I know the feeling of making that first investment, and it's tough to experience volatility for the first time. But you
Yes.
got to put on your big boy pants. I can't say that in 2022. You got to put on your big human pants, just
Circumstance.
yeah, yeah. And I liked your advice, because it's almost the same advice I would give to someone who walks to a casino: never put in money that you can't afford to lose. And
No.
I think that that's really important. Like if you have to choose between food on the table and investing, well, you're going to have to stay with the food, because
Yeah.
that's money that you need to spend on your necessities. Um,
Yeah.
but I do think investing is super important for everybody, in terms of building their net worth. Because again, the only way you get rich is if your money's working for you and you're not working for your money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one tip is what I usually tell my clients is whatever you use on a monthly basis, right? So if you're using, you have a rent of $2,000, then you add up what you need, your cell phone, your car, monthly payment, whatever it is that your necessities are, food, add that up. And let's say it's $3,000, right? So you need to have a minimum of 4 months worth of your monthly necessities in a savings account, not invested. Okay. It's really important because you got to go back to what happened in COVID. No one thought that was going to happen. And then people lost jobs and they couldn't afford their rent and they couldn't afford buying food, So that's why it's really important to just have 4 months. I like 4 months. You'll typically hear 3 months from other advisors.
Okay. Apocalypse Survivor says financially literate women are hot. So you are
Thank you.
hot. So there you go. What do you think of Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
I like it. I really love that book. I really do love the book. It hits on a couple of things. One of them is the mentality, the mindset around it, right? Remember that he had one dad that was all about work, work, work. And then the other dad was about really making your money work harder for you. Right. So it's very different mindsets, and it's a great book. The other thing that I took away from it is small caps. I like small caps.
And what is
So
small cap? Is that like small cap stocks?
Yeah, small cap stocks.
Mm.
So if you have a long term, um, you're not going to need your money in the next 5 years or anything like longer term, then I would really, I like small cap.
Mm.
So I would increase that, because no matter what, that's going to, but not actual stocks. Again, index funds or mutual funds when it comes to that, because you can really lose everything in a small cap stock because they're way more riskier. But if you have a mutual fund where a manager's actually managing the stocks in there, or an index fund where there's a basket of stocks in there, I think it's actually a very good opportunity. I like that advice that they gave in that book.
Mm. Got a horror story here. This guy, Cody, went all in on Newegg because it was $70 and now it's $6.
Oh no.
That happened.
Cody.
What advice do you have for someone who's suffered a loss that big? I mean, I have a few stocks right now. One stock I'm down, I think 70%. Like, what advice do you have for someone who's taken such a big loss? Is it better to sell, take whatever you have left and look somewhere else, or just kind of hold if you don't need the money for years and wait for the recovery?
I would hold, and believe me, Cody, you're not alone. It's happened to me as a financial advisor. I decide to get creative. I buy some
Yep.
stocks, and then forget it. It's like 50% down, right? So that's okay. You got to look at what's happening in the stock. What happened with the company? Why is it down? Is it down because it's the sector? Perfect example of that is oil stocks, right? Oil stocks have been down for a very long time, but guess what's going up now? Oil. And FYI, on my Instagram and on my YouTube, I had given that advice a year ago, more than a year ago. I was in Mexico, I remember, when I gave that advice, to look into oil and to look into international was the other one that I had said. So you have to understand why that stock is down, what's happening with the company. So wherever you're trading, they usually have a news area, and just look through that, see what's happening with it. And then you can determine, all right, you know what? I'm giving up on this stock, or I'm not. Another tip for you. If you're going to buy stocks that are probably not going to, you're taking a risk already. If you are thinking like, okay, I'm taking a risk on this stock already, buy it in a taxable account, not in an IRA. So that way you can write off the loss
Mm.
if you have a loss in that stock.
Got it. Okay. That's definitely good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody here, Cody's also asking like what stocks you personally recommend, but I know that this gets tricky because if you start to recommend stocks, right, then it's like, I don't know if you can do that legally by law. I don't know what the situation is.
Yeah, so we're not allowed to recommend
I don't think so.
stocks. Yeah, because if not, then FINRA can decide to say, hey, you're not supposed to be recommending stocks, and yeah, unless you come into my office, and yeah.
Unless it's like a confidential, personal, one-on-one consultation.
Yeah, because I'm not supposed to be. That's not being. It's not good for you. If I'm recommending a basket of just like a stock, hey, look at this stock, then I'm not actually understanding what is important to you, what your time frame is, all of that. I am not acting in a fiduciary capacity by me doing that.
How did you become financial advisor? Is there like a license you need or something?
Mm-hmm.
That you What's it called?
Series 7.
Oh, the Series 7. So you got a Series 7.
Yeah, Series 7. Then there's other parts. Like if you're going to manage money, you'll need other, a bunch of licenses. Series 7, 63. There's a bunch of them that you need.
And I'm just curious if any viewers here are watching. Are you open to taking new clients aboard right now?
Oh yeah, of course.
And Mr. Wright says, what should you ask a financial advisor you are looking to hire?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So I think that one thing that you could, a couple things you should ask is, one of them is what's their strategy? Okay. You want to understand how is it that they are making decisions and recommendations for you. And you don't even have to ask that. The beautiful thing is that when you meet a financial advisor, if they are not asking the right questions, that should immediately be a red flag for you, or a yellow flag maybe, right? So you want to make sure that the advisor is asking you questions like, okay, what's important to you? What is this money for? How long is it that you have? You know, what's the time frame? So if you tell me, oh, this money is for me buying a house, and I say, well, when are you planning to buy this house? I want to buy it in a year. Sorry, can't invest it for you. Right. But if the advisor totally misses that, they're not doing the right thing by you. They're only thinking about themselves. And so the right questions by the advisor are things like that. What's the money for? What type of an experience do you have in investing? What I also ask is, how is your money positioned? Tell me about the other money. I know you want to invest only this, but I need to understand what's happening with the rest of your money. So whatever I do with this money, make sure that it's working along with what's the rest of it doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's complementing what you have. So I need to understand that. And me, just because I have that mindset background, I also like to ask questions in regards to how you feel. I could quickly pick up when a person is nervous about investing their money, how they feel about like they spend too much. I could see all of that because a financial advisor should be able to go through your expenses, how you have your money set up. They should be able to see a full financial picture in order to give you a recommendation. If anyone says, if you say, oh, I want to invest 50,000, and then they're like, oh, here, this is a great fund, or look at this one. They're not being a good financial advisor. They're just selling you something.
Right. So it sounds like you have to kind of vibe almost with your customer, and really, as you said earlier, it's kind of like dating. You really want to get to know the person before you commit, right?
That's exactly it.
Right.
We can always relate so much to dating.
I know, exactly. So someone here asked, and I don't know if you want to answer this, so you don't have to answer this. I'll answer this question because I'm not going to be violating any laws since I'm not a financial advisor. Someone said, how can I avoid paying taxes on Bitcoin if I sell? Is there any way? I've had some since 2017, and now they're serious on taxing it. Theft. I'm going to tell you this. From my understanding, you can go to Puerto Rico. It's up here. You guys can Google avoid crypto tax.
Oh, wow.
Puerto Rico is the only place in the world that follows neither U.S. domestic tax law nor the FACTA. As of January 1st, 2020, island residents enjoy full tax exemptions on Puerto Rican source dividends and capital gains earned from appreciation of security.
But they have to live there, though.
I believe you have to live there for at least 6 months out of the year or something. And I also believe like you have to hire like 2 Puerto Rican citizens or something. In other words, simply moving to Puerto Rico, U.S. persons can avoid all cryptocurrency taxes. There is no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for taxpayers pursuing this strategy. It's a zero tax crypto haven paradise for the wealthy, and that's why a lot of whales, people that have a lot of money in crypto, they are currently moving to Puerto Rico to avoid. But again, consult your own financial advisor. And if you guys are watching this, I strongly recommend you follow and abide by all financial laws. Do not try to do anything to Uncle Sam because it is tax evasion, and you will go to white collar jail if you do that. So, is that a pretty good disclaimer?
That's a pretty good disclaimer.
Yeah, I just want to
do not take anything that we've said as financial advice. Make sure that you do check with your financial advisor, your accountant.
You know what?
Too.
I have a banner for that on the bottom. It's now scrolling, not financial advice.
Oh,
there we go. I have that one ready for us to go. So, although even though we are kind of giving overall general, but we're not doing like stock tips or anything like that.
It's just my opinion.
Exactly. All this is just an opinion. So I just had another question. Like you said, your parents are immigrants. Where'd they immigrate from?
Ecuador.
Oh, are you full Ecuadorian?
Full.
Nice, very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah, I have your YouTube link in the bottom. Let me pull your channel in here for a second so that everyone sees what your page looks like. This is her YouTube, guys. Joyce Rojas YouTube. So you can check her out there. You got a great username. It's just Joyce Rojas. Very easy to find. And she's got some videos all about, let's see, 5 smart ways to use your stimulus check and tax refund. That's a good topic.
Yeah. Yeah, I also had the stimulus check. Yeah,
who does your thumbnails?
Oh, I had an assistant, and then he started his own business. So hey, if anyone is good at YouTube, is good at
I could do these graphics for you. This is easy stuff for me.
Really? Oh no, I don't. This is why I don't really do as much YouTube as I'd like to. Oh, this is the ASMR video.
I think I remember watching this, and so these are obviously your like most popular videos.
Yes, the ASMR video took off crazy.
Look, you got a 15K video, you got a 3.3K, you got a 5.5K. I think that you should just do ASMR financial advice. That could be your channel. Like that's the biggest stuff you have.
I'm telling you.
Right?
Yeah, there was one other one that one, the mindset coach, how to make sex more fun. That was what, I don't know how many views on there.
Oh, 15K.
Yes. So I'm telling you, sex and ASMR, those are the two things that really took off.
That's what you should focus on, is just those two topics. Done. You'll become a huge YouTuber that way.
Great.
Yeah.
I'll leave my intelligence to the side.
Yeah, that's it. So guys, go give her a follow on YouTube. Do you have a TikTok?
Oh, I do, but I'm not even active.
You're not. So I know
have time to be dancing for people, Adam. Shit.
No, we're not dancing, but you could do like a financial TikTok page.
Yeah, I have to. I'm telling you, I'm awful with social media.
You do have one though, I think. Yeah, the Joyce Rojas.
Yep.
I just found you. See, there you go. Yeah, you don't need to do dance. Look, I'm a political TikToker, and I have 50,000 subscribers now.
Oh my God. I feel like, I don't know, maybe that's just a block in my head, but I feel like women have to freaking get all creative and we got to be dancing for people. I'm like, I don't have time for that shit.
You don't need to. You could just do, financial tip of the day, stock market review of the day, crypto news of the day. I mean, you could just keep it really basic. And since you're an attractive woman, you're going to build a following. Like it's going to be, I think, pretty easy. So my advice to you as a social media creator, since you give me so much financial advice, would be you need to start doing more TikTok stuff.
All right. I will.
Right?
I will. You just challenged me.
Hell yeah, you got to do that. Someone said you are smart and pretty awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So there you go. This guy says this. So you are a chica guapa. That means pretty girl in Spanish. Do you speak Spanish?
See?
All right. So this chica guapa always asks when I'm going to come visit her in Quito, and then doesn't respond. Shaking my head. Latinas play too much. You think Latinas play too much? Now we're getting to the dating section of the show.
All right, cool. Hold on, Cody. This is Cody, right?
Yeah, it's Cody.
All right. Why are you talking to someone in Quito? What is going on? That's my question to you.
Quito, Ecuador, right?
Yeah. Why are you speaking to someone in Quito? Look, if they can possibly get citizenship out of you, they totally will.
That's probably what it's about, right?
Possibly.
And she's probably like a sugar baby trying to get money from foreign men being sent to her.
Yes. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you're being catfished. Maybe it's just like a 50-year-old dude.
Right. It could be. He called her a spicy mamacita. So what's your situation now? Just out of curiosity, are you single, seeing anybody? What's going on in your life? Or is that private information?
No. I'm single.
Oh,
yeah.
Very nice. How's the dating life going right now? During a pandemic. I'm telling you, from my perspective, it's freaking very difficult right now to date during a pandemic because
we're not in a pandemic anymore, Adam. Like
I don't think we are, but the liberals think we are. The Democrats, and I don't know what you are. We're not going into politics now, but all I'm going to say is a big portion of our society is very scared of this virus still. Because I go out to the store and hold on, my camera just died. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Let me flip this to my shitty ass webcam. But I see. Look at the difference. It's terrible. I see so many people still masked up, and it's like
yes, but they're out and about. So screw it. You can date. That's not an excuse.
That's true.
I don't know. See, with me, it's because I don't really like the swiping.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I'm shopping for puppies. But at some point, maybe I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and swipe.
So you don't have any of the dating apps right now?
No.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm
don't.
on all of them. I'm on all of them with the worst ROI. I have very low ROI on dating apps. Like, it's either I told you. I've told my audience this. The dating apps today are either catfishes, girls that want OnlyFans subscribers, girls that want Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube subs, or
Instagram.
their sugar babies. And
So
that's
wait,
it.
they're trying to market themselves, or like they're trying to market
100%.
themselves?
100%. They're not actually like, yeah, they're literally just marketing themselves on these dating apps,
Wow.
knowing that they can build up followers and OnlyFans and subscribers and sugar babies. It's unbelievable what the dating apps. But again, it depends on the age range that you put into these apps. So if you're putting
Oh,
in,
you're probably
searching
looking
for
for like
girls,
20-something-year-old girls. Come on.
right? So if you're searching for girls that are 18 to 23, you're going to get a lot of that.
Mm.
It's when I type, if I go for a girl that's more quote unquote age appropriate, so
Mhm.
someone 30 plus, you're not going to see as much of that.
Oh, so then that's why. Stop trying to date little girls.
So it's a young, is 22-year-old girl considered a little girl?
It's a little girl, Adam. How old are
A
you?
20,
30 something?
22-year-old's a little girl?
You're like 30 something, bro.
I'm 38.
Dude, why are you
So
dating a 20-something-year-old girl?
you don't think that I should be dating a 22-year-old?
No,
What should
that's
I
horrendous.
what should I be dating then?
She's barely legal. Like she barely just started drinking at 21.
No, 19 is barely legal.
Okay, but 22, like she just was allowed to drink at 21.
Right.
Why are you dating 22-year-olds?
Well, it's like getting it's like a brand new car, like you get a brand new vehicle.
Yeah, I get it, but my gosh, that's gonna be really like boring for you.
Yeah,
Like,
I will say this. I will say this in your defense. When I was 35, 36, I did date a 22-year-old. And the amount of insecurities that I had to deal with from her, it was unbelievable. She was
absolutely.
and then also not only was she insecure, but she was also very immature.
Oh,
So
duh.
she didn't know how to handle her insecurities. And
Obviously.
it got to the point where there was one time I was traveling a lot for work. I was bi-coastal, New York, LA,
Mhm.
New York, LA. And one day I noticed that somehow, this is a crazy story. Somehow I'd be having conversations with like girls on Facebook, and
Mhm.
she would then message me things about that conversation. And it was just like, but she didn't say that that's how she got the. So I was just always like, how the hell, how the hell is she bringing up this topic when I'm literally talking about this topic with another girl? And
Right.
it turns out I had completely forgot that I had an old iPhone in my drawer in the kitchen. She actually turned it on, charged it, and somehow knew my passcode and was able to literally reading my conversations in real time that I was having with other people. Nothing like I wasn't cheating or anything like that. It wasn't anything like bad, but she was that paranoid that she actually snooped into my backup cell phone. And I got to say, these young girls, these 22-year-olds, I don't know how she got my passcode on my iPhone, but her eyes, they must have moved so fast to watch my fingers. And then she knew my passcode on my phone. So
That's
that was
crazy.
that was
That's
a
crazy.
horror
We're not
story.
even gonna go into the psychological um part of I'm wondering why you go for 22-year-olds. I'm not even gonna go try to psychologize you because I totally can.
I would love that. I'd love for you to do that. I'd love to be psychoanalyzed. The thing is, though, I actually don't go for 22-year-olds. The last girl I dated was 34, I think.
Okay, that's more age appropriate.
Yeah,
You're
and I
what?
really like.
You're 40?
I'm 38.
38.
I'm
Okay.
38. Yeah, so she was 34, and I really liked her a lot.
Hmm.
Like I saw an actual future with her, and she was 34 years old. So that's just defense to me that I'm not chasing after 22-year-olds.
All right then.
But I won't pass one up if they're offered to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like if a 22-year-old's on my radar and wants to meet, I'm not going to say no. I mean,
Yeah, true. That's like free
but
candy.
yeah, but I would be more aware now. Like I'd be guard up. I'd have my guards up and not take them seriously because
I sure hope so.
of my experiences. Someone here says 30 and up, man. That's what I should be going for is 30 and up.
Yes. 30 and up. You're 38.
Yeah, I think so. Mr. Wright here says, I think she wants to rebalance your portfolio. I don't even know what that means. Oh my God. But anyway, do you want to share some closing thoughts for my YouTube audience? This is your chance to just pitch yourself and say whatever the hell you want.
Oh, anything? Closing thoughts on anything?
Yeah, anything you want. This will be the closing thoughts.
Gosh, what do I want to say? So you know what? Definitely check out my book, 31 Badass Money Mindset Affirmations, especially if you want to gift it to somebody or you kind of know someone that you think like, all right, they just have to get their money together, this is a very simple book. All it does is that every day you have an affirmation, and I give you an explanation around it, and there's an exercise. Very simple, 10 minutes a day, if that, and it really rewires the way that you can think about yourself, the way you see the world, and the way you see money. Now, another thing that I want to tell you is, look, we just went through some crazy shit in this world, right? Like we weren't able to see loved ones for a while. We've lost friends because of political things or vaccination status or stupid bullshit like that. And I just want to kind of say that don't let that stuff bring you down. You know, the world happens in a way because it's supposed to happen in that way. And you can only control certain things. You can't control other people. You can't control what happens outside of you. But what you can control is your reactions and the way that you feel about things and what you do moving forward. So I just want to give you that little nugget of hope and just a different way of seeing things, because I know that this has been a tough time for people and a very confusing time.
Yep, that was very well said. So guys, check out her book, 31 Money Mindset Affirmations, on Amazon. I'm going to buy a copy once we get off this chat because I definitely want to check it out. And I also want to affirm my money mindset.
Yeah.
And then also go to YouTube, guys, and make sure you hit subscribe. And then watch one of her ASMR videos. They're very sexy. Don't watch it in front of your wives because then they'll be very like, what the hell are you watching?
And if you have any ideas on the next ASMR video, because actually I had more than a couple people say, no, you got to do another one. Let me know. I don't have ideas.
And I'll tell you, ASMR is huge on TikTok. So if you go live on TikTok and do ASMR in real time, huge audience there for that stuff. Yeah, especially at nighttime. There are girls that make so much money just ASMRing at nighttime because people used to go to sleep.
Wow.
So it's a whole market. Yeah, TikTok Live. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not saying that. I've actually stumbled upon it accidentally, and I'm like, why does this girl have 5,000 people watching her like whisper? It's really weird, but people are into that. And the last thing is were you a party girl back in the day like J-Lo?
Party girl? No, I actually was never a party girl, believe it or not. Never got drunk. I never got drunk in my college days. You believe that? Really? And I was a bartender though.
So that's kind of a party girl, kind of.
Kind of, maybe. I was a bartender, but I never drank.
Oh, nice. All right. So you're a good girl.
I'm a good girl.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining today. This stream is going to be live on my channel. And at some point, I'll try to turn this into a podcast. So if you guys want to listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, hopefully at some point you'll be able to find it there. So thanks again, Joyce Rojas. Appreciate you being here today and sharing some of your advice with my audience.
Thank you, Adam. You're the bomb.
All right. We'll see you on Instagram. Take care.
Bye.